This is KGW News at noon.
Here comes the heat. 90-degree temperatures are on the way today, and it'll also be a hot weekend. You can see there the sun is shining from the coast to the Cascades on this Friday afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brenda Braxton. Chris McGinnis is in for Rod today. So Chris, walk us through your forecast.
Well, it's a warm one already. In fact, last check outside our studio, 75 degrees in downtown. At the airport, we're now up to 79 and not much of a breeze. That breeze a factor, or the lack of offshore wind, I should say, a factor in why the coast, albeit sunny, is quite a bit cooler today. This is the live look right now from Newport, Yaquina Bay, and you can see there a lovely day at the beach, right? Right now it is 64 degrees in Newport, so that will be the place to go to escape the heat this weekend. We're already 82 degrees in Scappoose, 81 Hillsborough and Forest Grove, 86 in Sherwood, and as we slip farther south into the Willamette Valley, right now Dallas and Salem are all both checking in with 83 degrees. The plan for the rest of the day, here's a look at Futurecast. By 2:30, we're into the upper 80s, probably topping 90 by 3 o'clock. And we'll finish off the day here in Portland around 92 degrees, I think, at PDX, 95 Salem. Hopping over the Cascades, we're talking upper 90s across the Columbia Basin. And I think we get warmer from here, at least a couple of degrees as we head into the day tomorrow. So here's the forecast here in Portland the rest of the day. Again, I have us 90 at 3 o'clock and finishing off at about 92 today. Again, tacking on a couple more degrees on Saturday. Saturday will be the peak of the heat. We'll slowly ease back a little bit on Sunday, and then we'll feel some significant relief on Monday. All of that coming up with your full forecast in just a few minutes.
See you then. Thank you, Chris. 2 workers are okay after they were rescued near Widmer Brewing in North Portland. We don't have many details right now, but here's what we do know. The River City environmental workers were in some type of hole or confined space and they got trapped. One of them told us he passed out before firefighters got there. First responders put him on a stretcher to take him to the hospital, but he ended up not needing to go. We have reached out to River City Environmental and will update you if we get more information. Well, there are some very happy drivers today. They are finally able to retrieve their cars that got stuck on the wrong side of a landslide on the road up to Mount St. Helens. This slide happened 2 months ago today and cut off Spirit Lake Highway near the Johnston Ridge Observatory. As a workaround, there's now a temporary road in place. The landslide stranded 12 people overnight. A helicopter crew flew them to safety, but their cars had to stay put because the road was impassable. We spoke to Ryan Crandall a month ago after he found out that the temporary road was going in. He had just bought his car a few weeks before the slide and hadn't even made a car payment on his 2021 Toyota RAV4.
Having my car back, especially because I also do DoorDash, Uber Eats, so it's part of my job, let alone the photography that I'm trying to do, it is monumental to have my car back throughout all that.
WashDOT says it hired an independent contractor to build that temporary road. Well, get ready for a major closure on the Lewis and Clark Bridge. Crews are making repairs to the bridge between Rainier and Longview. The closure begins Sunday night at 8 and could last for up to 8 days. Your alternatives involve a significant detour, either the Astoria-Megler Bridge or the Interstate Bridge in Vancouver. The Wahkiakum County Ferry will also be running service twice an hour, 24 hours a day while the bridge is closed. Starting Monday, pedestrians, cyclists, and emergency vehicles will still be able to get across. 7 businesses in Northeast Portland are cleaning up glass after a vandalism spree early yesterday morning. Portland police arrested 44-year-old Freddie Paredes Cancab for allegedly hurling rocks and at least 1 brick at several windows. This happened along 32nd and Northeast Broadway. The places damaged include a daycare, a couple local restaurants, a State Farm office, Verizon, and a Fred Meyer store.
It didn't seem like it was break in and try and rob the business. It was more just kind of do some damage, maybe just some vandalism.
The Hillsborough Police Department confirmed Ken Cab is also accused of an early morning incident there. Officers say he admitted to purposely shattering a Walgreens window with a rock last month. A man arrested for a deadly stabbing in Northeast Portland is now charged with a hate crime. He's accused of killing 32-year-old Colin Smith outside the High Dive in the Buckman neighborhood earlier this month. Police say that Smith was attacked after defending a friend who was the target of homophobic slurs. A grand jury indicted 24-year-old Ranique Jackson for the crime. He's going to be arraigned next week on murder and bias charges. Portland's first city-run homeless camp opens later this month. It's located in inner southeast near Powell Boulevard. It'll be temporary housing for up to 200 people. There are pre-made pods and an elevated platform for tents. Students from the nonprofit Constructing Hope were out there yesterday helping build those platforms.
If somebody's cutting, somebody needs to be measuring. It all comes together in the end, so they have to work together.
Their goal is to build about 20 platforms in partnership with a nonprofit called the Home Building Foundation. Now to Payne Field in Everett, Washington. That's where disabled passengers say Alaska Airlines is breaking its promise to make certain planes accessible to them. They're in motorized wheelchairs and say they've been told they can't board. Eric Wilkinson has the story.
Go for lunch.
Jessie Owen's car was hit by a falling tree, putting her in this wheelchair. That was 10 years ago, so she knows all about getting around as a disabled person.
When you are disabled or you have a special circumstance, oftentimes nobody goes into travel willy-nilly. You're often overprepared.
In June, Jessie planned to travel to a wedding in California, but when she got to the gate at Payne Field, she says an Alaska Airlines employee told her she couldn't board because her motorized wheelchair was temporarily not allowed.
And I look at her and I go, oh, that sounds illegal. Can I see the policy on that?
Jessie had to Uber to SeaTac, where she was put on a different plane. Alaska apologized and blamed the problem on FAA concerns involving weight loads of motorized wheelchairs in the cargo hold on Embraer 175 airplanes.
We're still putting a lot of burden on the consumers, especially consumers who already have a difficult time traveling.
King 5 was first alerted to the situation in May when a Bellingham man fell into a similar situation. Back then, Alaska told King 5 the issue would be rectified within 30 days. That was 72 days ago, and still no fix.
We have a right to travel, so there was no reason for this to be any different.
Several years ago, Alaska started replacing Bombardier Q400 planes with more efficient Embraer 175s. One unforeseen consequence was a weight distribution issue that makes carrying large, heavy objects like wheelchairs problematic in the cargo hold. Other airlines, including Delta and American, found a way to work around the issue, but Alaska still has not.
I think Alaska's reputation has been damaged, and they need to make a huge commitment to repair it.
That was Eric Wilkinson reporting for us. An Alaska Airlines spokesperson apologized again to the customers and said a fix should be ready this time within 5 days. Okay, check this out. Portland Fire and Rescue and Scappoose Fire were able to rescue this donkey that was trapped in a creek for almost 12 hours. The operation started around 7 o'clock yesterday morning. Crews had to tie a fire hose behind the donkey's front leg and then used a rope to pull it out. The donkey was so exhausted that it couldn't even stand. Firefighters were able to use a tarp to carry it to safety.